Look at this. I got headphones on. I got a mic going. Baby.
If
Huh?
only people could see you now.
Hey, no video. We've gone through this before.
All right,
No
all
video.
right, all right. Welcome to This Commerce Life. This is a podcast aimed at small, medium entrepreneurs focused on commerce. I'm Phil, your host, and Kenny, your co-host, will join us as well. And we're going to talk to you about the world of retail and commerce and how things are changing in the world.
Oh, what a nice picture.
Oh, that's a nice picture.
Thanks.
Well, hello. How are you?
Hi. How are you?
I'm great. How are you guys?
Excellent. We're really great. We're
Good.
really great. Yeah.
Sorry
It's
that
nice
I
to see you.
missed last night.
No, whatever.
Oh, we just thought you didn't want to
Whatever.
talk to us. We felt bad. We cried for a little bit, and then we got over it.
Yeah.
I drank a lot before I went
Yeah,
to bed.
hopefully
It's
we're
all good.
drinking and it was
That was
fun.
all good. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, no big deal.
Alcohol's the cure, apparently. Don't sweat it.
I know. Oh my goodness.
Don't worry about it. Shit happens.
Yeah, sorry. If
Yeah.
it's not in my calendar, I
Not the
No,
end of the world.
that's okay. We're like that too.
You know what's funny?
like
We
things
got on
happen,
last
right?
night,
Yeah.
and you didn't show up. We're thinking, I'm tired. Phil, Phil, you look tired. You go, I'm tired too. I thought, you know what? This actually might have worked out okay. See if she wants to do it tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks for being flexible.
Yeah.
No,
Are you
no
kidding?
issues. No issues.
This podcast is honestly all about that, right? Like we don't prep, we don't, because we're fascinated with the stories. And then, chemistry works when it works, right? Do you know what I mean? Like, so I think what we've learned out of this is anytime that we've tried to contrive an interview or kind of push something forward to, it just it's not us, right? Like the audience knows it. Like, everybody.
Oh, we know. We've
you
actually
know,
forget
and we
what
know
we
it,
planned, right? Like,
so
it
it's
just doesn't
just,
work.
Yeah. So it's all good.
I think sometimes we're both ADD too, so we kind of just go off track anyway. So prepping,
Good
unless it's
Lord.
going to be written down with a teleprompter,
Good Lord.
it's probably, and
No.
even then, like I'd probably see a word, think it's something else, and then go down a different path.
I
Anyway.
have given teleprompter people heart attacks because I've actually done that where like they were like we've been there, done that where they've actually said like, okay, you write the script because clearly you're not going to follow our script, and then I write my own script and I go off of my own script, right? So usually by that point the teleprompter, they just want to know, should we keep scrolling or are you just going to make crap up as you go? And I'll
Sometimes
say,
you get a thought.
no, but and that's the thing. I'll say, no, keep scrolling it because there'll be lots of ideas in there, and they're like,
That defeats the purpose of the teleprompter, right?
what? I fine, whatever.
Whatever. Don't worry about it.
That's awesome.
That's
Nice.
good. All good.
Following rules is not really a strong suit. It's just not even my own
No.
rules. So
No.
That's great.
no,
And
no.
then for the podcast, you record just the voices from the Zoom. You
correct.
you don't release the Zoom.
No.
No. Phil and I figured out from the beginning that we had faces for radio.
Yeah, there might be. It depends on how you feel about it. So,
Yep.
what I have done is when I put it out on LinkedIn, I'll put a profile shot up of you.
Yep.
And then what I've been trying on Instagram is I'll take a snippet, like a 15-second snippet of something. Generally, it's us laughing about something in here, and then I'll put it up on Insta and on TikTok as well. So let me know how you feel about that. If you don't want that, I don't have to do that. It's just something I've been experimenting with. So
Yeah, it doesn't. It's okay. Yeah, I think it's okay.
Okay.
I don't.
We're pretty harmless, right? At
Yeah.
the end of the day.
Yeah.
But let us know if something bothers you. Just tell
yeah,
us.
if something bothers us.
I mean, we're recording
if it
now,
bothers
just so we
you.
know. Like,
Yes.
this is,
Yeah.
pretty much how it
Yeah.
goes. So
Yeah.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
you can say anything you want to, like with language.
Yeah, we're not we're
It's not
a
church.
Yeah,
You don't have to go on a
not.
sailor's free for all, but it's definitely not church.
Oh, you've hung out with me before.
You haven't hung out with us yet. Trust me.
Hung out with us
It could be
yet.
a really interesting
Yeah,
bar
yeah,
talk
yeah.
on this one,
Yeah,
on this
yeah.
puppy.
Yeah.
Do you want me to close this blind behind me so that it's not
To you. No,
Okay.
whatever makes you comfortable.
Whatever makes you comfortable. Honestly,
Nope.
we don't care.
hot out there? Oh my god.
Really, we don't care.
Okay.
So for the audience, we have Kerrie Hansler on, and she and her husband Mark, right? Your husband Mark, right? Are the founders of. This is the extent of my homework as I pull up the website.
Oh, you got
of
some mark.
Sweet
That was
Reads
huge.
Box. Yeah. So Sweet Reads Box. We met Kerrie through the Clearco guys, but we were just really fascinated by this story. I think we've we met Kerrie through Clearco, and then we hit it off almost immediately. Just one with the way she runs her business and how cool she is. You've already kind of heard her talk about some stuff. You know that she fits right in with the Commerce Life crowd. And then I guess I read a little bit about you, and you and I share some things in there too. I'm an English and poli-sci major out of school with a minor in creative writing and so and philosophy. So we share the same things, and I think Kenny and I both love history. So and we both like to sell stuff. So among those things, there's a whole lot of things in
So if you can sell history,
so.
like we're even more excited.
Absolutely. Historical fiction for sure.
Historical fiction is huge.
Love it.
Huge.
Yeah, it's great.
Anything
can lead you to business. I think that's
probably what it is with probably it. It really doesn't matter what it is after a while. Yeah, it could be anything. Yeah, we get pretty excited about most things.
It's true.
Yeah.
So thank you for coming on. And I think so the way we kind of do this is we want to get to know a little bit about you first and how you got to where you got to, and then we want to talk about Sweet Reads and what's going on there and how cool the concept is. So I'll stop talking now. And you can start. Tell us whatever you like.
Okay, great. So Sweet Reads box started because I wanted to order myself a gift, and I really wanted a box that had everything I needed in it. Like I wanted an experience that I didn't have to go out for. And so I started looking. I thought it'd be the perfect gift for sort of my busy life. And looked everywhere online and found some options in the US, but were not quite what I was looking for. And the shipping was crazy. It was the same price for shipping as it was for the box. So it didn't seem like the right choice. So shortly thereafter, we were on a road trip with our family, and I said to my partner, I have this crazy idea. Like I tried to find this gift. I really would love to create this box where it has, a great novel that someone's read and loved, with coffee or tea, and then like a sweet treat or a snack or something to go with it. And this is what I think. Like I think we could do this. There isn't a lot in Canada. There are some, but not quite what I was looking for. And he was like, yeah, let's do it. And so that was crazy. We thought it would be really fun, to get this together and put it together. And so we followed, we talked about what money we'd need and put that together, and then hired a graphic designer and a Shopify web developer and put it together. Luckily, I knew lots of sort of women around the same age as me that were influencers or bloggers. And so I started the first month with just boxes for them. So just launched with influencer boxes so that they could spread the word, and some giveaways, and then open sales the next month.
Wow. Okay.
Kind of cool. What did you do before this? Just in context of who you are as well?
Yeah, I'm a teacher, an educator.
Okay.
Okay.
So you taught what grades?
High school.
Ooh, that's when they're almost animals.
You look so calm.
Them.
Yeah,
So
we are way too calm for high school
How do
teacher.
you look so calm?
Yeah.
Wow.
They're amazing. How can you not
They're
love
definitely
teenagers?
amazing. They're different too.
Yes.
It would be you're amazing, and they are
Different.
Yeah.
I think they're awesome.
Good for you.
That's awesome. Good for you.
Yeah. And my partner is an accountant, so he has the number side. He enjoys a good spreadsheet. I do not.
I get that.
We just finished talking to an accountant on this show, and we talked about how important it is to have someone rooted in the numbers. For every you automatically get classified with Kenny and I as for every crazy creative there must be someone who has numbers that that they can balance us out, right?
They can balance
us out, because otherwise the idea is like, woohoo, let's go, and you go, I don't understand.
You
come
really
there's no money
also-
left? Like,
need to have somebody that when you're busy ordering and you've just spent a whole day paying all the invoices and
Yeah.
say, are we making any money at this?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
are we doing anything right here? Because it's one of those businesses where you purchase the products long before you sell them. So you've got everything sort of purchased, and lots of finger crossing that then it will sell. So it's an interesting cycle for sure. And as you get longer into it, then there's longer subscriptions and things like that. So that financial piece is different, but then you're also ordering larger volumes. So I've learned a lot about that process. I didn't realize how challenging it would be to get Canadian products, and we desire to focus Canadian made products in the volumes that we need. There's lots of great small makers that are phenomenal that we can work with a smaller box, but they just couldn't possibly create what we need on a monthly basis.
Your original box, Kerrie, it started with, it was a book idea, right?
Yes.
So you wanted something to read, and then you thought, okay, let's put some cool things in there. You read a book. I like a cup of coffee when I read.
Yep.
I like cookies anytime, so definitely when I'm reading. So that was sort of the premise, right? The concept.
Yes. Yeah.
So where's it at now? So is it still? It's obviously still a book and
a sweet and a beverage. So in the summer months, it's more likely a cold beverage. We've used everything from drink infusion kits to coffee with instructions to make cold brew, great iced teas. The sweet in the summer has to change because there's no part of Canada that can accept chocolate in the summer. So we've had some melted gummies too. There's been some pretty big heat waves with that.
You learn though. That's okay. It's part of it, right?
Yeah.
That's part of it.
I think people prefer gummies individually instead of one large.
Yeah, I don't think the glob thing sort of works on it. Like the glob stuff will work, but it can't be like one for a dinosaur.
It's nice. It's colorful. So we've learned all of those things about what products can ship when. September is too dicey still for chocolate, and there'll be somebody in February that will say, oh my goodness, all we're getting is chocolate. And I will say, wait till June.
Yeah, be thankful.
You won't get a chocolate more in June, exactly.
Yeah.
So you're buying a product. So let me start. So your books are coming from where? Like
from publishers, and we read them in advance. So we have
like an Oprah's Club, for lack of a better,
that idea. So we probably read 3 to 4 books before we settle on one. So for each month, it is an extended family reading project. So every member of the family is always reading a book. That's a potential book.
That's nice too. It's good for reading.
Lovely.
Lovely.
Yeah, it's great. And for our kids' boxes, I have 2 11-year-old twins. And so they help with the kids' boxes because they love picking out those items. So what we do is we start with the book, we read it, we figure out the setting, the theme, the storyline, the characters. What do they love? Do they eat or drink things in the book? Is there a special setting that really brings the story to life? And we choose the items based on that. So for example, our July box was set in Florida. So we had a lot of citrus items. We had like an orange bath bomb, lemon shortbread cookies. It was based around a Greek restaurant. So we included tzatziki dip that we had branded with the restaurant name on it. We included a Greek salad mix, and then other fun items. The woman made coin purses. So we included a coin purse and a beautiful tea towel. So the whole and then that one had coffee. So the whole experience comes together that when you open your box, not only do you get items that are going to connect you to the novel, but you have items you can enjoy while you're reading the novel. Or, we love to feature products from months ago that people are using. There's nothing better than having someone, post like, I'm off to work and I have, my Sweet Reads tumbler and I'm enjoying this tea.
This is so cool, though. I think that's why we got excited when we talked to you that day. I just think the concept is just so cool because you open up a little surprise, and if anything, it's even going to make the book a little more interesting because I'm already in the mood to kind of
a little bit of what they have, right?
And how many boxes do you offer a month? Like, do you got a kids, like you said, so kids are like tweens, more or less, right? Because kids are 11. So
yeah, we do a kids picture book for a year, and we do a kids chapter book for a year, and then we do young adult, like the YA genre, which is read by young adults and adults. We do it about every 2 to 3 months. We then offer a monthly subscription, and we offer limited edition boxes. So those are either around a specific theme. The other thing is the book is a surprise and your contents are a surprise. So you don't know.
So I don't even know the book I'm getting. I don't know.
You don't know. Wow. The whole thing is like getting a gift, right? Like when you open a present that someone has given you, it's all a surprise. So their trust is in us, and that's why the reading part is so important. Like I can take a list from a publisher of their top 5 books coming out this month, and choose the like indie favorite that's like not on that top 5, right? Because a good read is a great read. Yeah. Right. And sometimes it's the best-selling author, and sometimes it's someone brand new, or it's a quirky, British author that you can just imagine walking down the streets of London with in their book.
And all new releases. So it's
always new releases. Yeah.
And one a month. So one book a month is the thing.
It's the standard subscription.
Standard.
Yeah. Okay. And then our customers wanted more. They,
Well, I was going to say, because I'm thinking the same thing. Because if I start liking reading, I can 30 days to read a book. I mean, I'm thick, but I'm not that thick. I mean, I can go, 8-9 hours. You can sit down, you burn a book, right?
Well,
so I'd be thinking, okay, next.
Especially if you're curating, and I like what you're curating, I'm probably going to chew through the book. It's like binge watching, right? Like you like just like that, right? And then. Yeah. The fact that I've got a book and I must eat the sweet thing while I'm reading the book.
It's by law. I'm sure it's written down somewhere, and
you must consume.
I have heard a lot of the sweet treats are gone before they're even through looking at the box items. There are a number of items that have been eaten just in the unboxing. So, yeah. And lots of hidden sweets from family members so that other people don't dig into their treats. So yeah, those are very well loved, and definitely our coffee and our sweets. We always choose Canadian companies. I would say 95% of our products are all Canadian companies, and using a lot of small businesses that, these are big orders for them, and they go right from one corner of Canada to the other. We ship from the tiniest town in Newfoundland to Nunavut to, a tiny island off Vancouver Island. So
we'll be talking after this podcast.
Okay.
I have 2 coffee companies. I have a tea company. We produce everything in Canada, right? So,
amazing.
So it's just chai tea, and you got some, like a London fog, and like artisan coffee. So we've got stuff like that too. So you buy and sell that. So you're buying. So I'm trying to understand the logistics. So how many people a month do you have? Like on
give or take.
Give or take.
Like, you needed
50 people, 60 people.
Way more than that.
Wow. Lots of people.
Yeah. So we keep our numbers pretty secret.
They don't have to tell us. Absolutely. That's no issue.
Our numbers. So I'll definitely say it's more than 1,000
a month.
Yeah. Plus we sell, in addition to that, we have some customers that buy 3 boxes a month because of the limited edition.
Holy shit.
So, and this started in our spare bedroom.
So where are you doing this now? Because I was going to get to that. I'm thinking, okay, if you got 100 people a month, you got to buy 100 bags of coffee, 100 bags of this, 100.
She doesn't look like she's sitting on boxes.
Well, that's what I'm looking behind and think, okay, it's definitely not that room.
Are they?
No.
Yeah.
So what?
Well, unless the box is held up by all the boxes, like her table, maybe
the desk is a box.
And
100%. There may or may not be boxes around me, but this isn't where it happens. No.
So did you get warehousing, or what have you?
Yeah. So we moved from our spare room to our basement. Then we rented
to the garage, to the
basement of another
house. They had to get
house.
out of the house for sure.
And then
the basement of another house. You are a serious You are.
And I was like, this will be perfect. We'll have tons of room. We can grow here. And we were there 3 months.
Oh, Kerrie, you're a fellow knucklehead right there. Like that.
Honestly,
that is immediately what I think the two of us would be like. No, you know what? It's all good. Like if I use the study, the basement, the garage.
The kids don't have to sleep in beds. They can sleep on the floor. They share a room because who cares?
So you take the bed frame away, you put the boxes underneath the bed. You're all good, right? And then if you use the neighbor's garage, it's for sure enough room.
That's awesome.
I love it.
100%. So
wow.
So now we have warehouse space and they're packed in a warehouse. They're all hand packed, obviously, but they're hand packed with care.
No, not obviously. So
not obviously. So who's you're not hand packed. So you obviously have the warehouse. There's like third party warehousing or something.
Are you hiring your high school kids,
or you and the kids going?
Maybe the high school kids don't actually go to high school.
Yeah.
Well, they could be home learned. They're going to learn a lot from this one.
Or maybe this is a co-op program.
Wouldn't that be great? Volunteer.
Wait, we're not suggesting anything untoward. Kerrie is a legit high school teacher. There's no.
Hey, she could homeschool on this one. They have to read.
On here.
They can count boxes. That's like math.
Maybe there's a co-op program in the works or something.
Yeah, no, it's packed by a team that's hired to do that.
Okay.
And so they pack our boxes. Absolutely, Mark and I still pack boxes during busy times. It's just we're small and we have a really small team, and so
that's okay. That's how you make money too, though. I mean, you've got the accountant in the house too, so
that really helps.
No, that's good though, because the tendency would be to you start going crazy hiring people, and there's nothing wrong with that. People need to work, but if you can do a little bit on your own without causing grief,
you gotta
save some money
and figure out how not to stretch yourself too far, right? So
and that's a big part of it. So I'm just that's not something that we do, but we had a case where we had a shipping error where a bunch of boxes went out, tracking numbers, and we still don't know where they are. They're out there in the nether.
And it's sad that happens. That's not
so then you're at the warehouse and you're pulling the products down and you're getting those out because we want our customers to have a box. And it really being a present to them is a huge part of it for us. Like that experience of opening the box should be special.
It's a serious
I think this is just the idea is so bloody cool. So and people, I'm assuming once I'm with you and I start to like your book, and again, back to the books for a second. So it could be a biography, nonfiction, sports.
No, it's only fiction.
Only fiction. Okay. But no specific genre per se. Whatever turns your crank that month. This book's really cool. I'm reading this book. I love the book. That's going in and because I'm going to get to the point where I trust you, I'm going to read it anyway, right?
Well, and I would say that's a big part of what our subscribers love is being introduced. They're avid readers, they're library goers, they're bookshop shoppers and pre-orders, but they like to read things they haven't necessarily seen. And it's new and it's coming out. And like I said, sometimes it's like the blockbuster book that everyone's talking about. And sometimes it's a book where people are like, I have never heard of this.
That's a sleeper, right? Which is good too.
Just love it. And so for genres, we haven't done any fantasy or true sort of sci-fi, and anything that would count as like a real thriller, like a terrifying thriller. We save those for Halloween.
Right. That you could do fun. Otherwise I get scared.
It's not the same main.
No.
It's not like going in and looking at a bookstore at the top books of the month and you saying like, oh, I really wanted for a new experience, read something terrifying. But suspense is a huge area.
I'm like murder mystery. I'm assuming things like the stuff we would watch on TV, whether it's not like Halloween, not that stuff, but you could have something. I get it. That's pretty cool.
I really appreciate the sleeper ones.
I like that too because they're more fun that way, right?
Full of books that I thought were going to be cool that are not cool, and I don't know what to do with them now, right? And
donate them.
I do that all the time, and I do the because now people leave books and take books out of those like at the front of the so I leave them in people's things, but part of me feels bad, right? Because I read it and went,
Yeah.
You know, but the fact that it's an extra gift, I think, when you find a sleeper, because now I'm getting gifts. Yeah, I'm getting a gift, and I'm also getting another gift, right? Because I didn't have to go out and buy 8 books to find one that I really liked, right? So I that one really like kind of resonates.
I think it's pretty cool.
I think it's really huge. Yeah.
Yeah, so, I think for there are some people that read all the same author, right? We all have a member of our family.
Yeah, we all do that though.
That you know, they have their favorite author and they read them all. And people who don't like to stray from that, I wouldn't recommend a subscription box of books.
Right.
But people who love reading, you know, love the act of reading, discussing books, finding great books to talk about with friends and family members, that's who will love this subscription. And to my knowledge, none of the book subscription boxes that I know of in the US, they all release their books ahead of time. So it's a unique formula in building that trust and loyalty. Like I
like the surprise thing because
that's what I would.
Anybody can go read the bestseller. I can do that myself. I don't need you to do that for me. But I kind of like what Phil said. As long as, you know, in the first couple, because I'm assuming this is how it plays. Well, you have to tell me. So it's a monthly subscription. I don't have to buy into a year, or is it?
No, you can.
So buy the month.
Yeah.
And I can come in, come out, opt in, opt out whenever I choose. Right. So if I don't want July because I'm leaving the country. I can just say don't July and come back in August.
Yeah. So we offer a single box which doesn't renew. So a single box.
Okay.
Gift. You know, try the subscription out. Whatever. Right. Auto renewing subscriptions is a standard subscription model, but it is not something that all people have had experience with.
Right.
I mean, I have certainly had the experience where I've had software and stuff renew that I didn't think was renewing.
Oh, we've all had that for sure.
Yeah.
Amen.
And we all have, you know, Netflix or a streaming service. So we want to have a single box that doesn't renew. Then we offer a 3, 6, and 12-month subscription, which discounts off the single box. So obviously the 12-month is the best value. The 6-month is the most common purchased. And the 3-month is a really big gift.
Oh, so that might be cool. I'd love to do that as a gift for somebody. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I think so.
I think that's a really cool idea.
Yeah. And I certainly there are lots of, you know, our boxes are they're not gender neutral and they're not specifically for women. Like it depends what the box is, but some boxes do have an item that would be like, we've had one box that had a scarf in it or things like that. So we don't say that we're any specific targeted audience.
Right.
But I would say 99% of our subscribers are female. We do offer specific men's boxes with men's products in it at Father's Day and at Christmas.
Right.
And we introduced this last Christmas. We introduced Cook's boxes. Because,
I love that.
I love cookbooks and cookbooks.
We love eating and cooking. Seriously,
eating, cooking, and reading. Those.
Oh my God, absolutely. And at the same time, well, even better.
Yeah. So I love giving cookbooks at Christmas, but I find when I give a cookbook to someone, they kind of like look at the cookbook and they're like, it's great. And, you know, they sort of dive into it or not. But what we decided is, well, if we packed the box with things that go with the cookbook, then it becomes.
How smart is that, right?
More
You're
than
a
just
dangerous lady.
Yeah, really dangerous.
I actually had to so Kenny, like every listener of this podcast knows this is by now, I'm buying crap off your website. Because
I was going to ask you how does the website look because I know you're not paying attention.
The website is
I can tell your web page is open.
I actually closed it because I've already done the math. The value is very great. Honestly, they're not. It's not a crazy ask out of what you're getting in return, right? So the value for money is very good. And then like this cooking thing, you're a dangerous woman. Like. Kenny, like
well, you know what? All I'm thinking right now is my mom. See, my mom is an avid reader, but I think I think this is just a really, to me, it's a really sweet gift. Even you know what I mean? It's not like what I would normally do, which is probably cash or a gift card, because you know. That's probably just me, but you know what I mean? I just think it's really thoughtful. It's really nice.
It's really.
And one of the new groups that I love, like our subscribers that I'm starting to see a bit more often are couples that are subscribing together. And so
really,
I'll know it's a couple because on their address, it'll be like, Bob and Mary or,
right.
And I emailed one of them and said, oh, it's just, I just saw your label is a little bit different. And they're like, we love it because we both read the book. We share the treats, the items I don't love in it.
It's wonderful.
And I just thought, aren't you cute? Like
that's very cute.
And the other thing too, with this model and what I really wanted my customers to have is that when you look at subscription boxes, they're often a number of sort of random items. And those add up. And we include a lot of consumables. There are fun novelty items. In our last suspense box, we put a toothpick holder that was like a dead body that you could put on your charcuterie tray, just to be the most fun person at the party.
Oh my God.
That's pretty cool. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
I like that.
And even if you couldn't use it, to me, like, I love that and I would use that. And my kids would laugh about it. And it's great at Halloween and stuff. But even if I couldn't use it, there's 100% a friend that I could include with something else as a gift for, and get a great laugh. Right. And we use really great companies, and we love the companies we work with. Just, it's really special to form those relationships. Right. And I think that's something that I think more and more we're looking for. And our subscribers will very often purchase those products direct from the companies. So we hear companies that have launched a product with us then say, like, we had to rush to get it on our website because
people came back looking for it more.
That is so cool.
These chocolate covered jubes in, and people went crazy for them.
Well, no doubt.
I mean, delicious.
Seriously, you're a dangerous lady.
Yeah,
you could chocolate covered jujubes. You do a cook inspired. Oh my God.
I really like, because I try not to be like Phil because we really get off the rails. So if I was to go and subscribe, okay, go back to the thing. So how many boxes do you offer a month in totality? Like you got, like I said, you got kids that you do periodically, got how many choices would I have? Or how many options would you have in a month? I'm trying to do the math to try to figure out how busy you really are, because you're freaking me out because it seems to be like a lot of shit going on here.
Well, so probably we have 3 a month go out. It just depends on the months.
Right.
September is a really busy month because we ship Halloween in September and we ship Christmas in November. We ship them early.
So there are months where, the seasonality might throw a couple wrenches into it.
Yeah. And then we recently polled our subscribers for ideas for new limited edition boxes. And my goodness, my mind was blown. I was like, I want to buy all these boxes. So we introduced a coffee lovers box, which is just going to have one book.
My
and
God,
the rest of the box is going to be coffee things. So we
wait, when are you doing the coffee thing?
It's sold out. It's sold out really quick.
No doubt though, right? Because again, books, coffee, make totally logical.
So great.
So logical.
So we'll probably bring that back for the holidays with a holiday version. If we had all the time in the world, there are so many ideas. Like I would just love to put them all into fruition, but also being mindful of making sure that every box is fantastic. And,
like truly experiential.
Yeah.
Right?
And you can probably scale this a little bit, but to your point, if you scale it too far, it's not going to feel like Kerrie anymore. It's going to be a really nice box, but it's not going to feel like she's packed it, even though it may not be packed. You know what I mean? Like that feeling is, I think, what people want as well. It feels like you did it. Yeah. That's interesting.
No, I'm not sure I agree with that. So I think because I think that to me, the experiential is in the thought process of it's all the items that go in the box. So it's kind of unusual for me because I lean experiential. I think knowing that you hand pack the box, I think is amazing. To me, it's way more about, do you know, Kenny, like it's about her thought leadership in this area, right? Is one of the reasons that I think people love it so much is you are anticipating things that they want, things that they need. and then things that make their lives better. So I don't know if I care if you had 1 million robots packing these boxes. What I would care about is that you've taken the time to read 4, 5, 6, like the
I guess
novel
that part
count is going to go up, right? Because as the more boxes you get, the more scouring you need to do, the more picks you need to be able to make. But I think I would appreciate that more because you've done that work, and then I know that I buy 3 boxes from you, I'm going to love every single one because you pick them anyway, right? So I don't care how they get packed.
I guess what I'm
that's
thinking,
my
Phil,
opinion,
is,
right?
But I guess what I'm thinking is I'm picturing, because I haven't seen, I'm picturing a box sort of packed with care that looks a little more personal.
Yeah.
When you start getting into 100,000, 1 million boxes a month, that I don't care where you're doing that, you're going to lose that.
They're going to look a bit Amazonish. I get it.
Well,
right?
that's where I guess I was going with it. Is you can scale this, but there's a point of scaling.
There's an extent
where I think it just loses. It doesn't feel, even though Kerrie's hasn't packed any of the boxes, it's not going to feel like it. It's going to feel like an Amazon box. And then to me, that's nice, but that's not the same experience.
Except Amazon would, like Amazon with books, but Amazon could never find me an indie book that I loved. Never.
No, true. I'd have to.
And I'm actually a big, like,
100%.
so being an English guy, like I have a library. I actually always wanted a library, so I built my own library, and all my books that I've ever read are in there. But I started reading Kindle books, and even then, like, so Amazon has my entire history of things that I've bought on Kindle. So with their magic algorithm, they should know what I like and be able to find me, and they can't figure it out.
They still can't.
They have no idea. Like, so that's why I think even if it came through a little bit robotish, which I feel like now having met you, that would never happen.
No.
But if it did, I'd still be okay with it because you're still picking things that no algorithm could ever pick, right? Like I think to me, that's so cool. Like I
think, well, that's definitely the treat. That's why it would make me come back, because I'd end up having trust in your family or whoever's reading your books. Like if it's just you, if it's you and the hubby or the kid, I don't care who's reading them, but I get to the point and say, listen, no matter what goes in that box and no matter what genre, I'm probably going to like it.
And
even if I don't, it's not the end of the world because it's still cool, right? It's still.
What a wonderful gift to somebody.
I love it. I think it's awesome.
Holy crap.
So fun. I'm thrilled that people love it as much as I do. I think that's really special. I think when you find something that's not a need, but a want, but I would also argue people don't choose things for themselves that give themselves time, right? That's a gift of time to say, I'm going to sit and I'm going to read.
Well, we all say we don't have time
to
read, right?
It's hard to come by, right? There's a lawn to be mowed. There's a...
Right. But there's always something you could
drive
do
somewhere,
right?
Like all these things. Yeah.
You can always find the time though. If you really want to, you can find it.
So how long have you been doing this now?
So we started in 2017. Our first box that we sold was October.
Okay. So almost 4 years.
We had sort of small growth, for those first couple of years, traditional story in terms of, we were approached by Clearbank at the time, now Clearco, for funding. And we took the funding and invested it in marketing, and it's like A plus B equals C, right? It absolutely is critical because you can only reach so many people by sharing on social media, by word of mouth.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that was great. And yes, we did grow during the pandemic. That's what lots of people ask. Like, oh, well, you must have exploded with e-commerce in the pandemic. Yeah, we grew. But those people stayed with us. Like we've actually...
That's a big deal.
2021 has been a larger year of growth than 2020.
That's phenomenal in its own right. That's fantastic. Good for you.
Yeah, like we're thrilled with that. And I think if we could create 10 different boxes a month, there'd be people that would buy.
You could probably sell 10 different boxes a month. And you probably get someone to buy all 10.
Yeah, but I would be a basket.
Yeah, again, I think it's you'd go a little Looney Tunes.
And that room definitely would be filled with boxes all the way to the rafters.
So let me go to, because we were both married to accountants as well.
Yeah.
So how do you finance? Like, so you own this inventory. So you have to buy all this stuff. I'm assuming all your vendors are giving you terms.
You made her smile go away, Kenny. Look at what you just did. look at her. She was smiling, and then you start asking the money questions. And
Listen, it's not. If it's not me, it's going to be the other one at home. Someone's going to ask. She's got an accountant in house, Phil. We know what that's like.
I know.
Coming. So whatever.
We all three of us do that.
We're used to it. So big deal.
Fine.
So like, how do you do? So my question would be: so if you're buying coffee, let's say you're buying coffee from me, right? Pretend.
Yep.
Because one day you're going to.
Yeah.
But if you're buying X amount of coffee, I'd give you terms. I'd say, okay, listen, I'll give you net 30.
Yep.
So I should not panic. So hopefully you can generate some, the funds, you get it just in time. You build your boxes, you sell it, you get your money, and then you pay. So right now you're basically buying.
So lots of our, great question. And it's changed over time as we've grown, right? So in the beginning, everything's paid up front because
obviously
nobody
knows you.
Yeah, and that's fair. And if you order from a bigger representative, like we do, we work with Danica Imports. It's called Danica Studio now, but it's in the West Coast, and they can provide us a larger volume, really cool SKUs. Fantastic products. So you're dealing through a sales rep for them. So that's different. They give net 30 or net 60. It's easier. But someone who owns, a coffee roastery and they're roasting by hand, they've got to bring all those beans in for this coffee. So usually what we do is 50% at invoice and then 50% at shipment. So
it's reasonable.
I think it's very reasonable. I think that it shows that we have commitment that we have the funds and the commitment. And then, once the product's delivered, then we pay the remainder. And that's worked really well for our vendors because that usually that first payment of 50% covers their costs, right? So then they're moving into that next stage. And I want to work with every vendor that we can. And I think that's a big part of it. I also honor that they're making their business work, and
it should be mutually beneficial. Everybody should win in it. I know win-win-win, it doesn't always necessarily work, but it's got to get close to a win-win-win. Otherwise, there's no fun in this game.
And not all companies understand what a phenomenal marketing opportunity it is for them to have their product delivered to households across Canada that already enjoy their type of product.
If these people are committed to you and order monthly, you've got a group of people that trust you and trust you on your book reading. Everybody should be trying to get a product in there, because the odds of that product being sticky is going to be huge.
But it's a little bit different. So a couple of things that strike me in this that are different. One is also because you're a subscription model, you do get a little bit of flexibility, right? Because people commit to it up front. So you've got a little bit of wag on cash, not a lot, but at least some. But you have some, which is a little bit different than traditional retail, right? Traditional retail, it's cash in hand, it's here, it's gone. I think the other thing that is interesting, like for vendors who might be listening to this, or anyone who happens to come across this, is you are not a typical subscription box in any way, right? Because most subscription boxes, all the big ones, right? Insert name here, rely on trying to squeeze sample bottle sizes out of vendors, right? So, I used to work for J&J. It's really common. We get those phone calls all the time, right? Like, well, how many sample Aveeno bottles can I have? And you're like, what do you mean have? Like, it still costs me money to make those.
You can have as many as you want. The price is
like, here's the price. And then, like I have a subscription box, and they sell you a future of a promise. In your case, you're buying true product and actually giving it a true marketing experience that a sample would never get. Right. Like, and I think that's something that if a vendor's on their toes, they will realize that when you're calling. Do you know what I mean?
It's also a very intimate sampling.
But to be fair, lots of vendors, we get those, right? You get like calls going, hey, give me 10,000 samples. I know it doesn't cost you much. I promise you people will love it. And you kind of go, no, like that's, dude, come on, right? Like, I'm not in the business of giving away stuff for free. In your case, it really is like it's a true bona fide business with some serious marketing that they didn't need to pay for, right? That they won't pay for, which is amazing, right? So.
Yeah, and we love to do, social media posts that tag them, that show off their product, because that is mutually beneficial. We choose high quality products that are made in lots of cases in small Canadian businesses. So we absolutely want to promote you. You're going to then share the post, and then
everybody
coffee
wins.
Drinkers are going to see it, right? Like, to me,
everybody wins.
Is amazing. Like, we're all running businesses and we're all making business decisions, but you can be a really great person about it. And that's a huge part of it for me. Like, if vendors are really difficult to work with, we won't work with them again. Even if they have the best product, because if my customers reach out to them, it may not be
it's going to suck.
So it's and I love hearing other founder stories. Like, I love talking to people that have also created a product and are getting it ready to go, and I think that's so exciting.
It's the whole thing, the whole process.
Yeah,
is
the
really
whole
cool.
thing is.
I mean, I think this is fantastic. Again, because I haven't been on the website. Sorry, Phil.
Yeah,
like, what's this? What's an average subscription? What's it?
So a monthly box is $85 a month, and that includes your shipping in Canada, which you will know
shipping in
is a nightmare. Yes.
Yeah, everything's in.
So
I'm telling you, it's a great value. Like,
it's
like shipping's in, the book is in, the treats are in. You get sweets.
Treats.
Are you actually making enough money
in the mail? Like,
yes, Mark assures me that we're making money. Yeah, we're good.
I'm just doing the math on I'm thinking. You're selling a lot of this stuff. Like, you're getting Phil, you're getting tight margin. I'm thinking, geez, 85 shipping in.
Yeah. And that Canadians have a really difficult time with price, and Canadians do not understand the cost of shipping across Canada.
Most people have no freaking clue. Trust me. No clue.
Like, a box to BC is $26. Like,
a box from here to Newfoundland could be $35 if the weight's wrong, or if you're tubing funny, right?
Yeah.
So it's not. This country is expensive to ship in.
It is, and it's big, and I get it. It's hard to get to those tiny places.
I know. What are you going to do?
But it's not hard to get. I always laugh at the postal code system too, because it's the same price to ship, from Lakefield to Peterborough as it is to ship from Lakefield to Ottawa, which
makes no sense. It makes no sense whatsoever. But we're
all postal codes.
It's the hub. It's how easy, because remember, Canada Post doesn't deliver to they deliver to everything, but they use subcontracted couriers potentially here and there as well. And I mean, I've done it too. Like, I can it's in St. John's, Newfoundland is very different than shipping to another place in Newfoundland.
Yeah.
You're thinking it's on the rock, like, whatever, figure it out.
I made it there.
Like, seriously, what's the big deal now?
Right? Like,
and I get that on Ontario too.
Just take it over.
I know, right? Just
seriously, I can ship to the GTA. One part's less than the other. I have no clue how the system works, but
so
that's super reasonable. Bottom line.
It is, and once you get into the like a month-long subscription, it's it gets to about $75 a box if you're going to do a year-long. Sorry,
that's super reasonable for shipping in and the treats and the book. Really super reasonable.
Yeah. And our limited edition boxes are $100, so they're $100 shipping in, and they usually include one more item, and they're really customized around a theme, so they have sort of a really special, and for people who are starting, that's a nice way to start because they have a better idea of the genre. They, kind of know that it's going to be in the area they're looking for. The other big thing that we're really excited about is we wanted to, a lot of my education is in Indigenous history. And I wanted to include more Indigenous authors.
Super timely too. Good for you.
So,
that's awesome.
And we've been working on this for months.
Good.
But quite often the print houses don't run a big run of new Indigenous books.
Right.
And that's, that's one of the things our customers say, what are you doing to ensure there's more BIPOC authors available? And I'll say, like, we're working
everything we can, but
and we're pushing.
I don't print books, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. But the market needs to demand it. I mean, people need to understand that it's all good, but but maybe this is how you get demand. Maybe your subscribers will be the ones to tell people, hey, this is a great author, and that'll start the presses running.
Yeah, to 2 different Indigenous Canadian authors about their books, and we are having them curate the boxes for us for items for their novel from other Indigenous makers.
How cool is that?
So we're about to launch those, and it just makes me so happy because the novels are unbelievable, but they're not necessarily a novel that's going to show up top of,
well, realistically, we all know it's probably not going to happen because they're not going to get widely published or produced.
But also, we're unequipped to, like, this is a Canadian. Kenny and I have talked about this, and I feel this as a Canadian, right? I'm unequipped to choose who. I have no idea what I'm looking for. I have no idea even where to look for these novels, right? So, right. Yeah. In that sense, it's right along the lines of the indie thing. Is you are helping me understand a part of my culture that I have no idea about. Like, literally makes me super excited. And then literally, it's another experiential box that I literally would not have access to, have no idea how to get access to. Yeah. I think that's amazing.
Quite frankly, I might not have even thought of it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not.
No, definitely not.
It's not something, because again, up front, I wouldn't even know where to start. So I just go to the next easiest thing, which is back to the guys I know, or
or searching the list that we know. Exactly. But these artists would never show up on those lists, right? No. So.
Yeah, I'm seeing more in like mainstream print media, where I'm seeing a lot more in Canadian newspapers and magazines.
Awesome.
Highlighting Indigenous.
Well, look what it took to get to that level, right? I mean, some nice catastrophic events to finally get to a point where we're all thinking, "Holy man, okay, about time we all learn a little bit more about our own country."
About our own country.
Yeah, right? I mean,
yeah, that one hurts. It hurts.
I'll say who knew, but a lot of people knew. It's just a lot of us maybe didn't.
Yeah, and I think that's true. I mean, I could go on and on as a history teacher. I could go on about a number of things we don't ever talk about in Canadian history.
100%. Yeah.
And novels is such a phenomenal way to get access to that.
Yeah.
A great way to do it.
Yeah.
It's
a great way to do
I remember reading some novels that I read, in high school or university that was like, I had no idea this ever happened.
Yeah.
How did I not know this happened? And so I think I just think different voices and different writing styles, I think we're quite often, introduced to linear writing all the time. And, your book goes from point A to point B, and there's like a climax in the middle. It's sort of the way we were taught to write when we were in school. And the great writers don't write like that, in my opinion, lots of cases.
They probably don't. But most readers don't read those ones because they can't understand how to read that, because it's not how you were taught to even read. Never mind how it's taught to write. Right? You're taught to write basically how you read. They don't have practice at it. That's where it'd be cool for something like you, where you can. Your readers are probably a lot more adept to say, yeah, well, let's throw it at us. Let's see what it does.
Yeah. So
good for you. I think it's such a cool concept.
Thank you so much.
Such a cool concept.
Last question.
All day.
I think last question I have, is, I'm so curious. Like, I think one of those things that we talked about, we've talked about on a bunch of these episodes is where you want to go with this. Mm-hmm. I think everyone always assumes that when you start building a brand, that one day you're going to want to sell it or spin it off for a couple of $1 billion or something like that. What has been very clear with a bunch of these brands is that's not the intention at all. They have no intention of that. I guess I was curious because you and your partner, you guys have careers, you have jobs. Where do you see this going for you, or where do you want it to go for you?
I think that we have lots of conversations about this, and I think there's lots of talk that one day someone will just contact us and be like, we love this, it fits with our brand, we're going to buy it and we're going to retire. There's all those, like, there's sort of that like fantasy thinking, but at the same time it's hard to imagine not doing this. For me, I think, and for Mark as well, the big thing that we're looking for right now is working with, the right team members to allow us to grow, while also allowing us to, to be who we are as well. And that's a really big part of it for us. Okay. So these new projects where we're offering opportunities for different authors to get their books out there, that's really exciting to me. Growing the subscriber base is really exciting. That's the bread and butter of the business, and giving us more opportunity to offer limited edition boxes that can suit a number of different genres. In the end, big dreams. I don't know, the sky's the limit. I feel like this model works so many different ways. We only ship and sell in Canada. We have lots of interest from other areas.
Could open it up, I guess.
There's a ton of possibility, but I want to do it right. I don't want the gift feel, the feel of the brand. I don't want it so much that we can't read the books like it. And that doesn't mean that it wouldn't grow to be someone else's baby that does that,
right? But that's outside of your realm. Next, I was going to ask you, like, is, because Phil's question is completely valid, but I was going to, like, is there a ceiling? Like, not every business needs to, you don't need to be started at $1 and do $1 trillion. You may say, listen, at $1 million, it doesn't matter what the number is. You know what?
I'm happy.
This is where I'm happy. I'm
Yeah.
comfortable. As much as 10 million would be great, 100 million would be great. I feel whatever I feel. So you do have sort of a ceiling in your head where you would say, if it doesn't meet these criteria, I'm good where it's at. I mean, as long as you're making money, it can't be
You're limited to how many books you can read.
Right.
That's
why we have
but you can also expand your scope,
Yeah.
though. That's my point. See, you can have 10 friends that are very similar, not a similar reading style to you, but where you trust each other, like you're the same trust level, where all of a sudden, Phil, you could have 10 boxes a month. But is there a number, like the stuff you and I do is all consumer packaged goods. The ceiling really is until there's no more consumers to buy it. Right. But in something like this, where it's a little more, I don't know.
I think
it's different.
I think it's how far you can extend your viewpoint and your unique take on it. So if you have 10 friends who could do what you do, maybe that's the limit. You I really think that, right? Because I think
there is a limit on this. I guess that's what I'm getting at. I think there is a ceiling.
Because if you sell it, then whoever you sell it to, let's say like a coffee. No, let's say either a coffee.
Well, someone who's participating in boxes.
like someone like an FM Foods, right? Who makes candies and whatever, and they look at this and go, wow, this is a great way for me to now throw a bunch of books in a box and throw some candies in there and get some out to people. But immediately you lose the magic of, well, you're just going to throw crap in a bag. It's just like anybody can do that, right? Like it's the Kerrie piece that's missing out of all of this, I think, right? It's whether you're scalable or not, Kerrie.
Yeah.
How many of you can you print? Exactly.
Sadly, only one of them. I think that you can create a team, you can create teams though that are driven readers who hiring the right people who are interested in the product can absolutely curate. And I think having a couple of people to sign off so that the overall feeling and vision is there, I think all of that can happen. I also think that even though we've been in business for a while, when we came into it, subscriptions were very new in Canada. And now a lot of things are subscriptionized, especially over the last year. You can get your coffee in a subscription, you can get your tea in a subscription, you can get anything delivered to your door monthly.
Well, look at the meals. I mean, obviously, that's what's advertised. Meals are subscription based now.
Yeah, absolutely. And the biggest players in the Canadian subscription box space, I would say, has to be them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So I think too, it's not a case where there are like 20 or 30 or 40 subscriptions in boxes in Canada that are household names. So it's an interesting, we still have people who are really new to the idea of it and not like, what do you mean I don't choose my book or I don't choose the items, or it's so different than offering it, ordering a gift basket for someone,
right? Which again I think is still the treat of this, and that's why that alone may cap you, because not everybody likes it. There's people that want to know exactly, like to what Phil was saying. I know these are the top 5 books. They've already told me these are going to be the books coming up. I already know what I'm going to read.
Yeah.
And there's people that are very, very comfortable with that, and God bless them. That's a great place to be. And there's going to be less people probably in your world that says, no, just surprise me, light it up. Let's see what happens. But that's okay, because those people will typically probably play a little bit more of a premium. It's definitely different experience, but I think there's definitely a ceiling on that to some degree. And that's okay. Again, it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
Well, unless it matters to you, then that's a different story.
There's a lot of Canadians out there, but it doesn't mean all of them want this product, right? And I love that we've built through trust and loyalty, as opposed to sort of, those fake marketing or market statistics that say, well, 30 million Canadians drink coffee. Well,
blah, 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 blah. Sure,
what
whatever.
does that even mean, right? So, I just think it's really exciting, and we love it. And, I'm a little sad that I know what's in every box. It can't ever be a surprise to me. Maybe that would be the dream. Maybe
that's the dream. Maybe you get someone that actually surprises you once in a while.
Yeah, exactly. So we do have an employee that helps us source goods and, make the contacts with the Canadian businesses and work on that. But we're still the ones paying the invoices and putting everything together, and we're very lucky.
Well, let your people know that between the two of us, we know some people out there.
Yeah.
You might be surprised at what you get, right?
There's some really neat, even some of the folks that have been on this show. I mean, Kenny with all his coffee and tea stuff. We have
plus the stuff we have from the distributors that we can get that are Canadian made. I mean, we got some really cool jams that we sell with one of the distributors.
Our friend Sarah, Newfoundland.
Oh,
right?
Those chocolates, come on.
Yeah.
Easy peasy.
And I know we've only scraped the surface of great Canadian products.
There's so much nice stuff out there.
That will never be the ceiling. It will never be the ceiling.
No, that is definitely not your ceiling.
We can't.
Finding product is not the complicated one. Finding good books might be more complicated, because that's a whole different world of creativity. But again, that's so subjective. I mean,
so one thing, if you ever need it, for sure, reach out to us, and then if we can find people in our network, or ping us, and we'll actually announce it on the podcast. So here's what Kerrie's looking for. Because our listeners are made up of small brands and folks in the industry. So we can definitely put it out to the audience and just see if anybody knows someone that you should be talking to. That would be.
I'm going to pitch some stuff to you, whether you take it or not. It's really up to you, but I'll pitch some stuff at you. 100%.
Yeah.
Why not?
It's amazing.
Right.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Absolutely. And I think that we love that. We spend hours combing through products and having samples sent and trying stuff out and seeing what it's like. We love when people, I've had some great introductions from other, whether it's a marketing agency we work with or whatever, say, oh, we have this new client that I think would be great. Can we share your address? And those are great conversations.
Absolutely.
Right? They've worked with someone that said, I make my grandmother's recipe of these, special nuts and this is the story. And I mean,
so fantastic.
Good for you,
Kerrie. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
Thanks for
having me. Such a neat business model.
Yeah.
Right. Happy to chat anytime.
Okay, so we're gonna put all your links in the podcast notes. Are you on LinkedIn at all? No? Okay, not on LinkedIn. So we'll have them reach out if they want through the website. That's probably the
the standard Sweet Reads email, the info@sweetreadsbox.com will come to me or Brittany, and we're the two that do anything with product. There's the
amazing.
Employee count is about 4 plus the packing team. It's not
monster.
It's a small group. So
it's all good, man. That's all good.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. This is amazing.
That was really cool. That's such a neat. We were fascinated when we talked to you a couple months ago.
Oh yeah.
I love that one. That is such a cool business. So I'm glad we learned a lot more about it. It's good for you.
Well, I really appreciate it. It's been a fun journey, and I love that you can have an idea and create it. I think that's a lot of. I'm just thankful that we pushed ourselves to go ahead.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Mark didn't say on the road trip, no, we're not.
Yeah.
So
amazing.
But that's what it takes too, right? As you learn, right? It's a supportive partner in the house. If there's partners in the house, it makes a big difference.
Yeah, you really need it. You need it.
Having someone who's actually based in numbers doesn't hurt either.
Yeah.
As long as he doesn't become a Debbie Downer, because accountants can do that.
Yeah.
They just
he's fabulous. So he I am not a numbers person. So
yeah, most of the entrepreneurs aren't. That's what causes the grief.
Yes, it is for sure. Good.
Awesome.
Well, thank you so much.
All right.
That's fantastic.
Have a wonderful weekend.
See you later.
Thanks.
Sounds good.
Bye. She's cool.
I just think the whole concept is cool. The whole thing's cool. Yeah. You know, and honestly, I know you don't think. I still think. See, to me, I think there is a ceiling on this. I think what happens if you overscale this, it's just going to become another bullshit subscription. And I think there's only a certain size it could get. And I think that's the fun of it. Like, it's almost cool. I mean, it sounds bad to say, but it's almost cool to say, sorry, we can't take another subscriber this month for that. That box is sold out. Like, how fucking cool is that?
I want her
absolutely.
To have that. Yeah.
I think she's probably getting pretty close to that.
But that's not what I mean. I think what I mean, so I see the ceiling as being I think that she is the intellectual center of all of this. And so, like you, I do think there's a limit on, like, look, maybe we can only ship out 1,800 boxes a month, right? And so if you're 1,801, sorry, right?
Yeah.
But I also think that the flip side of that is you could send as many boxes, but they're all limited to how many books Kerrie can read or the likenesses of Kerrie. Do you know what I mean? Like, because that's part of the magic, I thought was, right?
See, like, and I think that's where I was like the shipping. You can do 100,000 boxes a month, easy peasy. That side is not the hard scale.
Yeah.
The harder scale is saying, okay, not that I want everybody to be like Kerrie in terms of the reading, but they have to be sort of the same mindset. So maybe it is, I have 10 friends reading. And we say to each other, okay, listen, this is maybe how you do it. Your genre, Phil, is going to be sports fiction. And you're going to do murder mystery. And maybe that's where you kind of go with it. And you can change it up because she's going to know her friends. She knows the ones she trusts. And then in turn, as a subscriber, I'll trust. So I think you can get to the point where you may have, to your point, like 10 readers might, like you get to 25, 30 readers. That's a lot to corral.
I actually, I think it's impossible, right?
I don't think it's impossible.
Either. And I think to find, like, look, you and I both love reading, but if Kerrie came to us and said, do you think you guys could do it? My answer is no, right? Like because
as much as I love to say, yes, I do. I don't read. I'm not reading enough to do that.
If I could read 7 books to pick one would be a feat in itself. And then 2 is, and I read a lot, right? Like both of us read a lot.
But I don't know if how much I trust myself to be put into a box.
That's
like,
exactly
I like what I read, but I'd be thinking, but maybe that's just me. And, I'm not.
Yeah, and then and now we got to think about what goes in the box.
And now I got to put all the shit together. And like, fuck, I got to explain it.
But that's what I'm
just give me the box. Just give me the box. I don't want to do that part.
That's what I'm saying is that's where I think you get, like, honestly, I think the cap is like 3 other people who are like-minded like that would actually be able to think their way through, like let's not kid anybody, right? But even the two of us, we could do it. We have the merchandise background. We both read. We pick good things to read, right? But it's a sense of dedication where it would be like, you and I maybe could be a guest picker for 1 month.
Yeah, I don't mind doing one a year, because I don't want to do like it's too many things going on in this box.
By second month,
no, I'd be done.
Like,
no, it's
too much. Guys are fucking lazy bastards. Like, what the fuck? You spent all your time picking merchandise. You didn't read a fucking book, right? And we'd be like,
listen, the other part's important too.
You see what I'm saying? So
trust me, I get it.
That's the part that I think.
Yeah.
That's the limit, right? So,
and again, I think the fact that there is, like in our heads, a built-in limit even makes this substantially more cool.
Yeah.
Because now there's an exclusivity and it's like just a cool club.
Yeah. I think it's super cool.
I'm going to take a look at this. See, my mom would like this. Like
I sent it to Kathy and said, hey, this is a great gift. Like, I think for Christmas,
my daughter would love this.
Like, this would be so much better than a gift basket of any kind.
I'm with you, and it's the same bloody price.
Yeah.
And it's better.
Yeah.
Because most of that shit in the gift basket, nobody cares about anyway. It's just to me, the gift basket is.
You get some.
Well, plus, you know what it is? It's an easy gift to give. That's why. Like, there's no. It looks good. It looks like $100. Who cares? And the other person's looking. You know what they're thinking? Wow. Good on you. That was massively creative. You went to Costco.
Yeah, and I would never drink that instant mix hot chocolate. I would never.
I don't drink hot chocolate. I don't care.
And the cookies look like they're about a year old. And
because they probably are, because this was probably packed 6 months ago.
Yeah. So I think this is super cool. I think I'm probably giving a bunch of these for Christmas presents.
I think I'm going to do this as well, because I actually really like this one.
Yeah,
I do. I think this is really cool. And I'm thinking of brands that I know small brands that would
starting to.
Well, I tell you, even personally,
through.
like I would love commercial driving. Now, whether they choose it or not, it's their choice. But I've got that. We've got the tea that's going to launch in the next 6 weeks. I would love to put some shit in there. You know why? Why not? Yeah. This group of readers, if they like it, they're going to be customers. Yeah. Like this is old school.
Yeah,
marketing, right? This is it, man. This is like on the street guerrilla style. I
love it. I love it. Yeah.
Wow.
Anyway,
okay, that was very cool.
Super cool. So
I'm glad she actually, it wasn't that she forgot us and didn't want to talk to us. She actually wanted to talk to us. Didn't have the time.
We didn't get it organized. So
Beauteous.
Awesome. I love it, dude. Yay.
Okay, you can shut the recording down if you want.
Okay.
What are you doing the rest of the day?
I am doing